Hello everyone, I am Simran Kaur from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group, and today we will start chapter number 17, Forest Our Lifeline. Now this is very easy and very short chapter. The topics which we'll see are about, we see what are forest, modes of nutrition, food chain, importance of forest and deforestation. Now forest, what is forest? It is a very important natural resource. Why? Because it provides us food, it provides home to plants and animals, it provides shelter to them. So forest is a natural resource, important natural resource. Here comes your first internal question, which you have to write on page 208. Why forest is an important natural resource, and mark the answer. Forest as a habitat gives food, shelter and protection to many life forms. Mark the answer on the same page 208. A natural habitat that comprises of various plants, animals and living organisms. The inside of a forest is usually dark and cool, as not much of sunlight can penetrate in. Now in a forest you have seen that so many giant trees are present. The branches are too big, the trees are too huge. Because of those tall and big trees, sunlight is not able to reach the ground, and because of that fact, the inside of a forest is very dark, and because it is dark, that's why it is cool. The temperature is comparatively less. Now here it is a new term, flora. All the plants existing in the forest are known as flora, like neem tree, shisham tree, all the herbs, shrubs, all the variety of plant are known as flora. Next term is fauna. All the animals living in the forest come under the category of fauna, like tiger, snake, elephant, gibbon, they all are fauna. Now importance of forest. We know that forest plays a very major role in our lives. How? Let's see. It provides oxygen. Yes, you know that during the process of photosynthesis, plants, they absorb carbon dioxide and they give us oxygen, which is needed by us to respire. Now because of our higher demands, we are cutting down trees. And as we are cutting down trees, because of less number of trees, there is more amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and that carbon dioxide gas is trapping the sun's heat. Because of that heating of sun ray, because of the trapping of sun rays, the temperature of earth is increasing day by day, which leads to global warming. So that's why we should not cut trees, and you should take resolution that every year on your birthday you should grow a plant. Then forests bring good rainfall. Yes, they play a major role in water cycle also. How? Like during the process of evaporation, there is one more process which goes along with the evaporation, that is transpiration. The water vapors released by the plants and trees bodies. So those water vapors go up in the sky and they condense, and with the flow of wind the clouds move from some other place, and again precipitation occurs. So this is done because of the help of trees. Then forest, sources of various useful products such as timber. Now there are so many trees like teak, rosewood, then sal, mahogany. All those trees give us wood, that is timber, and that timber, that wood is used to make various wood products like plywood, saw. Then trees give us gum, honey, rubber. Then rubber. A tree produces a sticky substance known as latex. Trees give us latex, and this latex is used to make rubber. Got it? Then medicinal herbs. Now all the plants which are used to make medicines are known as medicinal plants or medicinal herbs. Example of those plants are neem, amla, eucalyptus, acacia. They all are medicinal herbs. Now there is one plant known as cinchona. This plant gives us quinine. and this quinine is used to treat malaria, disease caused by mosquito. Okay, now here comes your next internal question, which you have to write on page 209. Write, which substance from trees is used for making rubber? And mark the answer in third point, latex is used for making rubber. Next importance is provide food and shelter to animals. Yes, a forest acts as a home for plants and animals. Then it helps in controlling floods and soil erosion. You know that the roots of trees, they hold the soil particles together, and because of that they are preventing soil erosion. Then it maintains water table. Yes, because of the presence of so many trees and plants, there is seepage of rainwater, and which increases the water table. Then reduce noise pollution. Yes, planting trees, it helps in reduction of noise pollution. How? Because these trees, they absorb the sound energy, and because of that absorption of energy, they are helping in reducing noise pollution. Now we'll talk about structure of a forest. If you've been in a forest, then you have seen that not all trees are of same size and same shape. So many different sizes of trees are present. Some are very tall, some are shorter than them, and some are like herbs, shrubs, creepers, climbers. So variety of trees are present in a forest. Now you will see that forest is divided into some layers. The tall trees will make one layer, then shorter trees will make the another layer, and the herbs and shrubs, they will make another layer. So a forest is categorized into some horizons and some layers. That is, the terms given to those layers are canopy, understory and floor. This is canopy, or you can say the roof of the forest. The topmost part of the forest is canopy. Then the shorter tree forms which layer? Understory, and at last comes the floor, where herbs, shrubs and those rotten and dead leaves are present. So we'll see each of them one by one. Now first is canopy. It is the uppermost level of a forest formed by the tree crown. Now what is crown? Crown is the branching part of a tree above the stem. This is a tree. So this green part, this branching part of a tree is known as its crown. Another is understory, the second layer. Plants growing under the canopy formed by other plants form understory. These plants are generally herbs and shrubs. There occurs variations in type of trees and animals in different forests due to differences in climatic conditions. The second layer you can say that is understory. And at last comes floor, the lowermost level of the forest consisting of small herbs, dead and decaying matter forms floor of forest. The forest floor is damp and spongy due to retention of moisture and decaying organic matter. You know that these fallen leaves, they decompose, they decay after some time. So that is the organic matter. The organisms thriving in the organic matter respire, releasing heat which keeps the forest floor warm. Because of the heat produced by the microorganisms which are living here, the floor of the lowermost level, the floor of the forest is warm. Okay, now how do animals get their food in the forest? Is there any factory? Is there any kitchen? No. So let's have a look on modes of nutrition. We have divided into two types, autotrophic mode and heterotrophic mode. Autotrophic, in which the organism prepare their own food. Example is plants. And heterotrophic means the organisms which are dependent on someone else for their food, like us, human beings. We have further categorized heterotrophic into subparts: herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Herbivores like cow, they feed on plants only. Then carnivores, all those animals which feed on herbivores like lamb feed on, let's say, deer. Then omnivores, we fall under the category of omnivores because we can eat both plants as well as animals. So we are omnivores. So related to that, our next term is food chain, a sequence of organisms in which each organism is a food of the next member. In food chain, energy also passes from one organism to another. Look here, this is a very basic example of food chain. The first member in this chain is plant, which shows autotrophic mode of nutrition. Now this plant is eaten by this grasshopper, then this grasshopper is eaten by this frog, then this frog is eaten by this snake, and the snake is eaten by this hawk. And when this hawk dies, what happens to its body? It gets decomposed by the action of decomposers. So the hawk, it converts into the body of hawk gets converted into the humus, which again dissolve in the soil, and the nutrients which are provided by the humus is again absorbed by the plant for their growth. So you can see this is a chain, this is a cycle which goes on. Now in a forest, not only one food chain is present, so many interrelated food chains are there. So they form food web. You know the spider forms a web, so that is the same. A food web is also present in the forest, which consists of number of food chains. The next term is decomposers. You have seen that if after the demise of any animal, what happens to their body? Does it remain there only? No. If you will visit the same place where he died, you will see that the body has now vanished. So how does that happen? Because of the action of decomposers. So decomposers are the microorganisms which feed on those dead plants and animals. So decomposers are those organisms that feed on dead and decaying organisms, example bacteria, fungi. Upon decomposition, organic waste are degraded to form dark colored humus. Their food is those dead animals. So after eating those animals, they release a product which is known as humus, and it is dark in color. Humus plays significant role in determining the quality of soil. If more amount of humus is present in the soil, then what we say, that soil is very fertile and plant will grow in that soil properly, in proper way, because that plant is getting so many nutrients from the soil because of the presence of humus. So ultimately, not only animals are dependent on plants, but plants also depends on animals to get the nutrients back. Some of the decomposers which are responsible for humus formation are ants and termites, mushroom, fungus, slug, dung beetles. Now deforestation, very common act done by us only because of the increase in population, because of the expansion of agricultural activities. What we are doing? We have no other choice. What we are doing? We are just simply cutting down the trees, and those cutting down of trees is known as deforestation. The clearing of forest is called deforestation. Deforestation is carried out for various purposes such as construction of roads. To construct any road, we need a clear path. So if a tree is present in our path, what we do? We just cut it down. Buildings, industrial development, and increasing demand of wood. For manufacturing wood products, we are taking wood from where? From the forest only, from the trees, by cutting them down. With disappearance of forest, amount of atmospheric carbon dioxide has increased. Lowering of groundwater level has occurred. Why this increase in carbon dioxide is there? Because plants help in absorption of the CO2. Because of the cutting down of trees, the amount of CO2 is increasing in the nature. Then followed by loss of biodiversity and prevalent soil erosion. Because forest is home for animals, but if there is no tree, there is no forest, so who will live there? No animals, so they will migrate to some other place. Now soil erosion, removal of soil by water, wind or ice is known as soil erosion. Plant roots firmly hold the soil. Due to this, plants prevent Soil erosion, as I told you earlier in this video, that the roots of trees, of plants, they hold the soil particles together and they keep the soil particles in their position only, hence preventing soil erosion. How can we prevent soil erosion? By planting more and more trees. So afforestation in the affected areas can play an important role in soil conservation. So by afforestation means planting more trees. By planting more trees, we can conserve, we can save our soil. Now let's have a look on few conservation measures. First, afforestation. Right now I told you, by planting more trees. Then special grazing fields should be made. Yes, by overgrazing can also lead to the soil erosion. Then government should make strict laws. Now government also plays an important role, so they should make a strict laws. All those who are disobeying these laws should be punished, or by adopting the method of horticulture, by the activity by which you grow plants on a smaller level. So these are few conservation measures. Now here comes your last internal question, which you have to write on page 212. What is deforestation? And mark the answer in the last paragraph. The mass scale falling of trees is known as deforestation. So by this question, we are ending our chapter here. I hope you understood the chapter well. Thank you.